So there's a comedian that has become very popular in the past few years, several years maybe, that goes by the name of Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, I'm not sure if his name is actually Tony Hinchcliffe. I just know that that's what we call him. And over the years, I have been studying and I've been watching Tony Hinchcliffe, and I have come to the conclusion that Tony Hinchcliffe is a bad person. He's a bad man, bad guy. Since I understand that about Tony Hinchcliffe, it's not very often that we get to see him on podcasts, even though he has the show Kill Tony on YouTube. It's not really a podcast, even though it does give a bit away of about how big of a piece of shit Tony Hinchcliffe is as a human being. But he has a podcast that he did 2 weeks ago with maybe some no name comedian friend of his. So I figure we would just hang out with the boys. Looks like the room that the boys would hang out in. Pretty cool. I would have loved to have this room in 2000 or 1999. Been very cool. So let's listen to these fucking guys and see what sort of schemes and tricks they're cooking up and they're up to right now.
We're entering a brand new era. A door has closed on a previous generation. The ice age has ended. The dawn of a new day has arrived, guys. We are. This is a magnanimous occasion. We've the grand experiment of moving my entire family all the way across the country to pursue something slightly better than what was before has led us down a path where we are so lucky to be around a guy who I can't thank enough for being here and who has shown me a path. And
so what happened was, right, Tony Hinchcliffe got very big because he followed his father, Joe Rogan, down to Texas, down to Austin, because, I guess COVID-19 was crazy for him. So he decided to make that move to Texas. And he built a comedy club in Austin on the famous 6th Street called the Comedy Mothership. And Joe Rogan, being a, some sort of weird Zionist lizard person, he brought a lot of his comedian friends down with him. And he tried to bring even more comedians with him. And some comedians came, some comedians left, but a lot, especially like his little orbiters that leech on him for his money, they stuck around and they're still in the Austin scene. And Tony Hinchcliffe here, my boy, is one of those leeches, right? So now Tony, with his show Kill Tony, is a show basically where he has up and coming comedians, not professional, like just kind of just starting out or whatever. He allows them to come up and do a minute on stage, and there's a lot of bombing, and bombing just means when you fuck up on stage and you make yourself look like a fool. And of course, depending on the bombing, depending on how well the person does, depending on how they look, depending on how physically or mentally handicapped they are, decides what the interview portion from Tony Hinchcliffe and whatever comedians he has on stage with them is going to be like. And it's typically an exercise in Tony's extreme narcissism and the extreme hate that resides in like the little small bird-like cavity he calls a chest. So this guy, this fool here in this glasses, he must be another fool that was duped to moving to Austin. And understand that people come from all over the fucking country and all over the world to watch this guy's show in Austin, on 6th Street. A lot of people do. I've been there. I've been on 6th Street. I've never been in the Comedy Mothership because I don't have any want or any notion of being recorded by, Joe Rogan's facility, so that way it can be uploaded into whatever, Palantir data center he has a deal with up there. So I've never gone, but I've definitely been on 6th Street, and I've been on 6th Street on a Monday where motherfuckers are hitting the Kill Tony club or Kill Tony shit. So I think I'll call it that from now on. So it's very packed. There are people from all over the nation that comes to Austin, Texas on a Monday to see this show, right? And they put their name in the bucket with the hopes of getting up. And some people do, a lot of people don't. And if you do very well and you get up on stage, Tony Hinchcliffe sees the value in you. And so he'll use you from, you know, like whatever fame that you may get from the show, like your personality. And he'll say, hey, you know, I'll come to my team and I'll pay you and you'll tour with me, right? And he does this to keep himself relevant because he's not that funny of a person if he's not trying to break another person's spirit. That's who Tony Hinchcliffe is, and that's what Kill Tony is. So this guy has signed his soul away with a 5'7" demon in Tony Hinchcliffe. And you understand that Tony Hinchcliffe is very red these days. If you watch his show lately, he's very red. And I guess he's getting that sun, but he's not fighting these demonic allegations that I'm levying against him right now.
And a light. I'm talking about a friend, a visionary, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a trillionaire.
This guy is sucking Tony Hinchcliffe, and this is what Tony likes, right? Like, this is what Tony wants, right? He's not really that like into the actual craft of being a comic, but like he's into like the end point. When you're on stage, you're in a crowd, you can do a bow, you know, you have entrance music, you know, it's just like that moment, that scene from a movie. That's what Tony loves. So when dudes do this, when dudes like do the whole bow down to Tony thing, dude, it's one of the things that actually get Tony Hinchcliffe. It gets him very hard, and he's man-spreading here. So we might see a boner coming up because he likes this. So he loves that ego to be just massaged, dude. Fucking effleuraged? You know, just effleuraged, a little bit of deportment.
A vampire, pediatric dentist. Yes, he's at the top of the mountain, and he's reaching a hand back to help the little guys. Guys, please, wherever you're at right now, whatever fucking job you're doing, I want you to hit the big red button that calls the alarm so you can pull the Chinese guy off of the auto lathe. I want you to smash a clipboard on the floor and take the jagged edges and hold.
Tony hates this shit. You see, when it stops becoming about Tony and it starts becoming about the bit of the comedian talking, Tony doesn't like that shit. Tony doesn't like other people's bits. Tony doesn't like when motherfuckers attempt to be funnier than him. Look at that face. He doesn't like any of this shit. He should have stopped at sucking Tony's cock verbally like he was earlier and just ended it there. But now he's going on into the bit trying to impress Tony, and Tony doesn't want to be impressed. Tony wants to see the value in you, right? And if you're on a podcast and you're trying to be funny, Tony is like, he's on the fence. You know, he might like it. It might show your value so that way he can use you even more, or it might completely turn him off, right? And more times than not, it just turns him off when people try to be funnier than Tony in Tony's actual face. Look at his face.
To the throat of your closest direct supervisor. Guys, welcome.
Did you see that? Did you see that little head nod he just did? That little head nod? You know, move on with it. You know, get on with it. You know, we're professional here. Let's
to the Hentai Hideaway 3.0.
And notice that Tony only gives him exactly 1 hour. Like, and notice that he only gives him, and I understand that he might be a busy little guy or whatever. And his quarter zips is wearing a fucking bomber jacket here. It's a very interesting choice for him. But like that's very telling as well. You know, like these guys aren't friends. These guys aren't buds. It's not an hour and 15 minutes. It's not an hour and 18. It's 1 hour almost exactly. And the minute had a lot to do with like this the little cartoon and him blowing him. So
one and only Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Finally got
hey,
there.
everybody. How we doing? What a great intro.
Chilling, thank you. It's basically all I got. That's I spend it all on that, and then I just have a panic attack for 90 minutes, and just white knuckle the whole thing.
I get it.
Thank you for coming to my home.
It's amazing. I love it. It's so cozy. I feel right at home. I haven't had a feeling like this in a long time.
Thank you.
Yeah, by cozy, he means low class. And when he says he hasn't felt like this in a long time, he is talking about the time that he lived in Ohio, state that he was born in, with a single mother and a father that was not in his life, but had a family down the street. That's the time, that he's talking about here.
I don't get.
You'll never have a moment where Tony is not insulting or like absolutely sucking up and kissing ass and licking balls. He's either doing that. He's either like angling to attack you verbally because he's a petulant little man, or he's like fondling and cradling the balls of some greater man than he, right? It's the dharma of Tony.
To people's homes ever.
You're not a big going to someone's house guy.
No, I've actually been learning this about myself.
And by the way, I'm just gonna be watching this until I get sick of both of them. That's the moment where this video will end. So if it ends at fucking, I don't know, like at 2 hours later, because it's an hour long, then that's simply just what it is. I'll leave you guys to deal with all that.
Lately, because people have been hanging out downtown, like near where I live, and they're like, Tony, come hang out. And I like neutral ground. I like bars, restaurants, the comedy clubs. I like this and that. For some reason, I get weird about going to people's homes.
That's crazy. Is it because you have a difficult time accepting what's that called when you're nice to someone in your house?
Hosting?
No, it's like there's a word for it.
It's a hospitality, you fucking retard. This guy is actually like flustered that Tony Hinchcliffe is sitting right here. He just sees Tony Hinchcliffe as like his ultimate meal ticket right now. And like this guy is like the key to him getting to wherever he thinks this guy can take him. So like he's flustered. He's so flustered that he can't think of the fucking word hospitality. It's very cute. And he's very, very foolish for exhibiting this so publicly.
When you're
hospitality.
I think so. I think sometimes it feels like a little like uneven, and I don't know exactly how to accept it, or like I'm always like looking for a coaster. Like luckily that one's there.
Yeah.
There's like more.
Well, that's because you're an insecure person, Tony, and you can't accept that a person would actually be nice because it is their duty as like the host. You feel uncomfortable because you're insecure. I've been there too, Tony. I understand what you mean, but you're insecure. That's where that comes from. That's why.
More work to do.
That's why you feel uncomfortable with kindness, because you give nothing but negativity to the world. And so, you feel deep down that you're not deserving of hospitality. And that's the problem.
You're at somebody's house,
relaxing in someone else's
house. Yes, because
no.
I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody. They're like, "What's your least favorite holiday?" Because we were talking about St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, honestly, Thanksgiving. And they're like, really? What? You don't like the food? I'm like, I love the food, but I don't do it at my house. And if I go to someone else's house, which is usually how it turns out, because it's always last minute, because I don't really plan anything. And I think I might be going back to Youngstown to visit family, and then I kind of never do it the last second.
Yeah.
So I end up at somebody's house for Thanksgiving, and then like you have to like meet their friends and their family.
He doesn't like to go back to Youngstown, Ohio, because it reminds him of the childhood trauma that he has carried all the way with him to Austin, Texas.
Family, and that's always kind of like, your family's cool. I know your family. But like other places, it's just weird, and it's kind of like, so what's that like? The podcast? How long you been doing that? And
yeah, and then by the time you're fully settled in, it's like time to go home. I get that for sure. And I'm internally spazzing the whole time. Every time someone offers me something, I'm such an imposition.
Yep.
I shouldn't even be here. Yeah, I'll talk myself out of doing anything like that.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
You guys are fucked mentally if you think that way, and I understand that you're fucked mentally if you think that way, because I've thought that way too.
go completely psychopathic and just be like, well, I deserve to be treated nice by people, and I think I'm gonna suck out every last drop of feeling nice about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm
one of
like,
those things.
I wish I wouldn't have come. I rather would have ordered like a pizza alone at my place.
No, that's so sad.
I know. It's weird.
No, this Thanksgiving, come here.
It is weird.
We'll plan it ahead of time. You don't have to bring anything.
Yeah.
Me and MJ will be screaming at each other in the kitchen over what to do about the turkey because we don't know what we're doing.
Tony Hinchcliffe doesn't want to be around this guy and his family. I'm not sure what kind of house he's living in, right? And I'm not in any position to dog anyone's home, right? But Tony doesn't want to be in this man's home for Thanksgiving. He just doesn't want to be there. That's not where he wants to be. There's only one place that he would rather be, and that is in the lap of Joe Rogan.
Tommy will make a very nice cheesecake.
Pope?
I'm telling you, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he showed up with a cheesecake that I honestly, it changed my life. And it's just like, bro, you have that inside of you and you're talking for
There's a lot of secret good cooks amongst us. I make a bolognese that freaks people
okay. Well,
out.
then now you're on the hook for a bolognese. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
You
I
should have
love it.
fucking kept
See,
your mouth shut.
That I will do anytime. Thanksgiving at my place, I don't know, but I've thrown together many a bolognese for many a friends.
No, show up. Uncle Tony's here, you know. Oh, yeah, and you're slipping the kids, you know, fucking $1 million bills or whatever.
Kill Tony
you do.
merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is he's a little on the nose with that. You know, you are obviously signaling that you're angling for Tony's wealth there. You know, yeah, give the kids $100 bill. Uncle Tony, you're that kid. Did Tony marry into your fucking family or something? What am I not missing? These are the type of like sycophant cocksuckers that have come to Austin, Texas, and that have made Austin, Texas into like a living in your car, either living in your car or like super yuppie man haven, you know, very cringe, very gay, very weird, very, you know, not Texas, not Austin, you know, I don't know what the fuck that shit is, but it's no good.
They follow all this stuff. Do they really think it's cool?
Really?
Yeah, my kids.
I love
Ben
that.
watches everything. He watches every podcast I do.
Yeah.
He thinks this shit's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Very big deal for them to get to.
That's awesome. I mean,
Receive.
it is pretty cool. I mean, all of his friends' dads probably have like normal jobs and stuff.
It comes up as at school.
Yeah.
Teachers find out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Lucy, who you didn't get a chance to meet, she's like, she's had to like snap at people at school because they, even just like referencing it really kind of makes her uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
But it just keeps coming up.
Yeah, of course.
You were so welcome. Actually, you were the king of hospitality. That's what's so tragic about it.
I know.
You're the king of hospitality.
I love being the host.
We came down.
yeah.
You received us with open arms,
Yeah.
from near stranger to instantly, I would say, elevated homie status.
I'm not bragging, but I have a thing to where I know when I really connect with somebody like immediately. I'm pretty sure it's from hanging out at the Comedy Store every single day for like my first 10, 12, 13, 14 years of my career, like 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people are coming in, people are coming out all the time. And yeah, with you, and also Kim Congdon was a great introducer.
Kim Congdon, my herald. you
Yeah.
mean? She
Kim Congdon, also a very notable bad person, bad woman. Kim Congdon.
has really. She's like one of my best. She's one of my best friend in the entire world down here. And
Same.
A bad person is your best friend in the entire world down here. Are you sure? You sure you want to be saying that, dude? Saying about what bad people you have as friends in these Austin streets? Do you really want to be talking about that? I'm not sure.
And she really knew that me and you were going to hit it off. She was talking about you all the time and this and that. And by the time that I finally got to meet you and have you on the show and everything, it was just on. Because it's like, there's some people that just love making jokes and being silly, and that's you. And then there's some comedians that do a lot of other stuff, and that's not my thing.
no,
That's not your thing? That's not your thing? You're not the type of comedian that likes to do other stuff? Like get a fucking pedophile snake oil salesman elected as president? You didn't do your bit to get this fucking chomo snake oil salesman, charlatan, scumbag Donald Trump elected? Weren't you like doing jokes at like, what was it? Like some sort of fucking CPAC thing? You did the jokes about the fucking Puerto Rican floating trash island, Tony. You know, you don't remember that? You don't remember Donald Trump going on to your father, Joe Rogan's podcast, to get glazed and get his balls fondled by Joe, that little imp? You don't remember Tim Dillon having Donald Trump on his podcast and Andrew Schultz having Donald Trump on his fucking podcast and Theo Vaughn having Donald Trump on his podcast? You guys being like notable Joe Rogan cocksucking orbiters. You guys don't but you don't do all that extra shit, right? You don't do all that other shit. You're just about having a good time and making jokes, not getting a man elected that was facing over 40 fucking federal felonies for being a scam artist crook. Okay, so you don't do things like that. You don't do things like use your comedic powers to help get a man elected, right? You don't use your popularity to try to get a fucking pedophile Zionist incompetent snake oil salesman elected the leader of the free world. You don't do that, right? Okay, you don't do that. You're just about having, okay, you're just a jokester. You like to hang out with the boys and have jokes, not help get a dude elected that is owned by Israel because they have pictures of him killing little girls or whatever the fuck Donald Trump's like to do in those Epstein files that they're blocking from the world. Like, okay, I don't think he's that type of comedian. My bad. I'm mistaken.
I have a good time. I'm going to die probably young.
Yep.
I'm already old. I'm running out of precious seconds to fuck around. So
I just got the full body scan. You know about this?
Is it the $1,200 one that Pauly Shore talks about?
Yeah.
Man, I'm saving up for it.
Yeah,
I'm saving up my allowance to get a full body scan.
I got it. It's crazy.
What do they do? You have to stand in like the TSA thing?
You have to lay in the barrel thing, like a normal MRI. Yeah. Except this is an hour long. And they're like, do you want to put something on? Because you can watch. They have like a
These guys are afraid of death, by the way. You guys he loves smoking fucking cigarettes, but he's afraid of illness and afraid of death. I hope some sort of like weird Zika virus calamity finds its way into Tony Hinchcliffe's veins, honestly, and makes him all sorts of fucked up and sick. You know, despite these goddamn MRI sessions that he gets, like a fucking what do you call that? Hypochondriac, you know, to see what's wrong, as if, you know, AI or technology can save him. I hope it can't save you, Tony.
They first of all,
can I get Club Random, please?
I had them put on Nuremberg, with what's his name? He got fat for it. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, is that new?
Yeah, he plays Herman Goring.
Damn, so you're hitting Nazi stuff in the full body scan. That's crazy.
Dude. Yeah.
That's so stressful.
It was so awesome.
That's comfort watching for you.
Yeah, exactly. Made me so relaxed. It was beautiful.
Can I have if you guys have AI translated Hitler speeches?
Yeah.
That is a fake laugh. That's a very fake laugh. When Tony does the wide open, Titan mouth sort of laugh, it's fake. He's a very fake person.
Mein Kampf book on tape.
Oh, and that's another fake laugh from this guy. Look at him. He's really doing his best to stay in there. Stay in Tony's pants there, making sure that he's truly all right. A real great host here, I gotta say.
But yeah, it was
well, so did you get to see anything? Was it all visualized?
No, they don't tell you for 5 to 10 days. I got the results yesterday, and let's just say we are good.
Oh, thank
somehow.
God.
It is incredible. I do have a, what do you call that thing when your nose is messed up?
Deviated septum.
I have a deviated septum from.
You found out from the scan?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know.
That's crazy.
I've never done anything up my nose my entire life, but old wrestling injuries.
Did you say old wrestling injury? I don't believe that he's ever wrestled. So these guys, like these LA comics from, well, obviously LA. These LA comics that have come down to Austin, they're all like transhumanist freaks. Like they all want to meld their body with machine and become Cyberpunk 2077 or 2022, 2077. You know what I'm talking about. Cyberpunk. That's what these guys want to be.
I think I've just always had a bad nose my whole life, and I'm finding out about it.
You
now.
gonna do anything about it? I don't think I would. Actually, you know what? Have you ever seen the post surgery videos where guys are in recovery and they have those like slats that go all the way up their nose and they pull them out and it's like much longer than you. I want to feel that so bad.
Yeah,
I might get deviated septum surgery.
yeah.
I don't know.
I might, but I just found out that it's like a week you have to have those things in there. So
it'll be, dude. Don't tell me that. Now it's delayed gratification. The whole time I'm just sitting at home sipping ginger ale, edging over the.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Please, dude. I want that, and I want Turkish hair surgery.
Yeah.
With the big swollen scalp.
Oh yeah.
If I could do both at the same time, it's like, bro, I might.
That's the move. Fix it all at once.
That's true. That's true.
Dude, I hate when fucking motherfuckers just make conversations about bits. This is a fucking podcast of bits, bro. Yeah, let me try out this bit. Oh yeah, like what if you're like some fucking sort of dude, you got that shit up your nose and you just want it to come out. Like, dude, don't try to be funny. Like, if you're not a funny fucking person, don't try to be funny, dude. Like, that's fucking, that's really ugly stuff, honestly.
Like Hellraiser pleasure, you know? Fuck me, man.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with you that I had with Louis J. Gomez, where I knew Louis from online. And I'm not saying this about you, I'm saying about this about Louis. I was repulsed by Louis. I thought, what a fucking buffoon.
Yeah.
What, I mean,
I still feel this way about Louis. I've known him now for over a decade.
Luis Gomez is a buffoon and a coon as well.
Every time I see him, I'm fucking disgusted.
Puerto Rican wasn't even in the top 5 things. You know what I mean? I was just like, no fucking way.
Oh yeah.
And then Brian Six introduced us, and it was the same thing. It was like, no, dude, you're gonna love him. And I met Louis, and instantly I went, oh no, all my preconceptions were wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. And now he's like truly family. Not even in a figurative sense. Louis is family. I had the same thing with you, where I only, not being a Kill Tony watcher, being an online guy, I had the like, and also like, if at my networking comedy is at such a lower level that I would be like swimming in a pool with dudes that are just like, their image of you is like, dude, he runs that town with an iron fist. Do not cross Tony Hinchcliffe. He'll really get in your way. And so, dude, when we made the decision to move down here so I could work more, I was just like, yo, if anyone's a dickhead to me, I'm going to crash out. I'll go back to the IT world tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. I came in with like,
so he's an IT guy. Listen to what I'm saying. And guys, really understand this if you're out there watching this and listening to this. All IT guys are satanic. Okay? And that's why I don't like this fucking guy. That's why there's something wrong with like this entire setup, this entire layout. All IT guys are satanic. It makes sense why he's one of these fools. You're either like a poor fool or you're a very wealthy, relatively wealthy fool that like comes down here to follow Tony Hinchcliffe. You know, you're one of those types of fucking fools. I'm not sure which exactly, but you're one of those types of fools. This guy is a satanic fool, right? And so that's why he would want to come down here and make even more wealth off of, like, you know, these satanic dudes. This is why he's really still sucking his dick. Most of this podcast so far is just this man glazing, as the kids say, glazing little Tony Hinchcliffe, bro. And it's like, it's almost pedophilia to me, honestly.
A huge guard up.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to you right away, and instantly I was just like, oh man, I'm a fucking idiot. I feel so stupid.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you do feel stupid. Yeah, you do feel stupid, don't you?
the weirdest thing. I hear these things sometimes.
I would have preferred you being a fucking nightmare,
right?
Like prissy dickhead diva.
Yeah.
He is a nightmare prissy. That's exactly who Tony is a nightmare prissy dickhead, dude.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have to live in a reality where you're like a super nice, chill guy that's always trying to have a good time.
Glazing. That's what all these guys do. These fucking comedians, satanic, transhumanist guys. Everyone's a good guy. I love that guy. He's the best. I love that guy. He's the best. You're really like a good dude, man. Like, hey, bro, it's not about you like benefiting my life in like a very financially important way and like having the keys to entirely changing my entire life or my expectations on even what it could be. No, man, you're just like a good guy. I don't have anything to benefit from. Yeah, we're just buddies. So Joe Rogan's like, we're just buddies. He's my buddy. He's my buddy. These guys are all satanic fucking chomos. All of them. I'm telling you. There's no proof. There's no evidence. I am opening up myself for civil suit. I kind of fucking stand by it in like a very, very ironic, almost unironic way, but mostly ironic. But you know what that means.
Exactly. It's
brutal.
It's the weirdest thing how that some people, it's always the people that have never met me that have the problem, or that literally don't know me or have ever hung out with me once.
I've literally never hung out with Tony Hinchcliffe once. I literally don't know him other than what he shows about himself on media, all forms of media. And what is it? What else did you say?
Yeah.
That I hear, because sometimes I'll be like, where did you hear this? Like, I'm so genuinely curious.
It comes from what you see and what you display and what you exhibit in front of the camera. And it's not just the, it's not just like the in your face stuff. It's the little stuff about you, Tony, that shows people who you truly are and what you're truly capable of. What about that comedian, right? Like there's like this comedian that went by the name of what was his fucking name? What was this guy's name, man? I'm gonna have to open up a new goddamn new window. God damn it. I'm gonna have to do this shit because I really gotta find this guy. So there was this comedian who killed himself, and I'm really blanking on his name. But like there's this video of Tony Hinchcliffe being very mean and being very shitty. Brody Stevens, it was his name. Brody Stevens being very shitty towards Brody Stevens, right? And in this video, I think it's very telling about who Tony actually is as a human being. Let's give this just a little watch here. I think we'll do that. I think that'll be sufficient. You understand? All right, let's get that up there.
You guys ready for some more comedy? Are you ready to see guys who are going all over the world performing and they say this is the hardest club in the world? These audiences demand it. This next guy is ready to rock. You ready for it? He's my friend. He's got the #1 live podcast.
So this is the guy Brody Stevens. He's a comedian. He died. He killed himself. And apparently he was recording while Tony got on stage, and he recorded a little bit of Tony's material, and Tony got very mad at that. And so Tony found him outside and like, let's listen to what Tony says to Brody Stevens.
One more time.
His friend, right? His buddy. You hear how those fucking two cocksuckers are all buddy and chummy. Tony Hinchcliffe learned to be this way from his time in Los Angeles, right? And this is what makes him such a fake person. This sort of idea that this young comedian or younger comedian, I'm not sure how old this fucking fuck is, has about Tony Hinchcliffe from meeting him in public, and maybe having some instances or some time together in private, is that like he knows this fake LA dude, right? And in the show business in LA, this is how everyone is. Everyone's nice on the face, but who they really are shows in time, you know. So let's listen to what Tony says to Brody Stevens.
Hey,
hey. Hold on.
Hi, Brody.
Tony, they want to know what happened.
Yeah, Brody, I'm working on stuff, and I specifically don't want it filmed because I'm about to go on tour. Wherever these people are, I actually go to.
I get that. I was leaving.
Wherever these people are, I actually go to, implying that Brody Stevens, as a comedian, doesn't have as much going on as Tony Hinchcliffe. Understand that this was because Brody Stevens killed himself. Not saying that Tony Hinchcliffe had anything to do with Brody Stevens eventually killing himself, but like I would imagine that he's somewhere in the reasons why, somewhere mixed all up in there. Honestly, I would think so. But yeah, this is how smarmy and how shitty he is to people that he calls his friends. That's how he treat them.
I'm not just communicating through them through Periscope. I actually go on the road every weekend and every night in the month of August.
I don't.
So I don't want them seeing what I'm doing.
I get that.
Because they're coming to see me on the road. I come here to work out. You're the only guy that films your set here. So I wanted you out of the fucking room. Your boy's filming me.
Do we film your material? When do I ever film somebody's material?
My material is what I'm doing, and you just filmed it on stage. And I don't have a problem with it.
I was walking out. I was walking out.
You're Brody, and I dismissed you, and you should...
This is what comedians have to do, by the way, to be funny on stage, is that they have to consistently go up and work their shit out. And I understand that that's part of the process, but like, I mean, it's really telling about who you are, not as a comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe, but as a funny person. It's really telling.
Miss me? What are you, my fucking teacher?
Yeah.
No. Tony, you're out of line.
Okay, walk away, Brody. I guess we're not...
Oh, come back. Come back then. Okay.
Go ramble to your followers.
So, Tony,
you walk away from me.
So, Tony,
you see how Tony
telling me.
You see how Tony consistently tries to belittle Brody Stevens as a person and as a comedian, saying that he has nothing going on, keep talking to his little followers as if he has bigger things going on. That's exactly who Tony Hinchcliffe is as a person. He's a piece of shit. Telling you. I film that, and he supported a pedophile charlatan president, or charlatan criminal to be president. He fully backed this guy that is in the Epstein files and who was very good friends with Jeffrey Epstein, so much so that he even brought his own children to Epstein's island, right? And that's exactly where Tony wants to be, I believe, is on Epstein's island. That's his fantasy.
I said all the time, I've never had somebody say...
Get out of the room after you bring up the next guy. Get out of the room.
Didn't I get out of the room? I was leaving.
And I was telling you to leave.
And don't fucking tell me to leave.
Then just leave.
No.
Don't film your set. You're not filming
You can't tell me. I didn't film your set.
Yes, you did.
Tell me if they heard one of your fucking jokes.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, you don't even know it, but they did.
They didn't hear your joke, Tony. You were out of line.
It's not about joke. It's about cadence. It's about performance.
Yeah, you stole my cadence. Everybody.
It's about cadence. It's about the performance. Tony's a fucking nerd, and he's not a funny person.
He says it.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever.
Well, you do.
Watch me. I'm up there whispering. Why did I steal
Tony, you were out of line.
I love my career.
You were out of line.
Really? Your cadence?
You were out of line tonight. Go ahead and rip my career. Go ahead.
I'm not going to ruin your career.
Go ahead and rip my career.
I'm not ripping your career.
You're ripping my career.
Yeah, Tony 100% was ripping his career. Now he's gaslighting the man whose career he was just ripping, his alleged friend, gaslighting him into believing that that's not what he was doing when he was doing that.
My career.
Okay, but don't be a fucking dick to me.
How am I being a dick?
You were a dick up there.
You're filming my set.
I didn't film your set.
You filmed my set.
No, I didn't.
Tony, fuck your set. Be perfectly honest. We've seen your sets. Your sets are not funny. You're not a funny fucking comedian. You are a sociopath little man that hitched your wagon to a bigger vehicle, that being Joe Rogan. And that is the only reason why you are where you are today. If you were still doing this Kill Tony bullshit in LA, you would be exactly where you were with exactly the same little band that you had out there. Be perfectly honest with you.
Yes, you did.
I was leaving. Did you do a joke?
It doesn't matter.
No, I film my set all the time, right?
You got me.
How come you're the guy who says it? Why are you the guy?
Because you didn't leave the fucking room.
I was leaving the room, and then you said, "Get the fuck out of here." Fuck you, Tony.
Fuck you.
Nobody likes you.
I don't care.
Well, then.
Yeah, and this is when when was this uploaded? At least let's see. When was this uploaded? 8 years ago. So I mean, 2017. So this is from Brody Stevens' Periscope.
You know what?
Never needed them.
Oh, I'm pissed now.
Yeah, you're negative as fuck.
I'm negative?
Yeah, that's like people don't want to work with you.
You were being a prick. You were a prick.
Baby.
I'll whine to Adam?
Yeah, Will, you're whining to everybody. You're whining right now. You're a fucking baby. You should have gotten out of the room. You can't film
Tony.
people's sets here.
Tony.
You can't film people's sets here.
Tony,
You
what
can't
are
film people's sets
you're
here.
funny? What are your TV
You
credits?
can't film-
What are your TV
I don't
credits?
care about TV.
What are your
It's an old
credits?
broken system.
What are your TV?
So Brody Stevens is attacking Tony's filming credits, right? Because that's what Tony really wants to do. He really wants to act. He wants to be an actor, and that is because he is a sociopath. And he looks a lot like Dennis Reynolds, and like that is the vibe. If you've ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that's exactly the vibe. That's the vibe of Tony, except he doesn't like to fuck women. And I don't even think that he likes to fuck men. I think that he is like an asexual that gets off on pain and suffocation and like having fucked up things happen to them because that's all he knows. That's his childhood trauma, is being treated like that. So like that's what he likes in the bedroom or in the dungeon, wherever he conducts his business, you know.
Credits.
What are your Netflix
What movies have you been in?
Nothing.
You've been in no movies. You've been in no movies. Zero. You've never been on TV.
Since I started.
You've never been on TV. You've never been on TV.
Yes,
You've
I
never
have,
been in a
dumb
movie.
fuck. You did warm
You've
up.
never done a
You
movie.
did warm up for the show I was on, you fuck.
Tony, you have zero TV credits. Zero.
You've done nothing.
Zero. Tony, you're not funny. You are not funny.
Tony, there you go. You know, like this is a very real moment, right? Between two comedians that is being periscoped by a crazy person, Brody Stevens, right? But Brody Stevens, as I believe, all crazy people kind of have a point with some of the shit that they're on about. And especially in the way that people that are deemed crazy or called crazy can see the bullshit in something and have like the craziness to actually say something about it. Tony Hinchcliffe is not fucking funny. Brody Stevens knows that. A lot of comedians, most comedians know that. Tony is slowly working his way to becoming a mini kingmaker under Joe Rogan, the midget Italian boss that is like the big kingmaker, right? Very good on Brody Stevens. Rest in peace for telling Tony he is not funny to his face. He needs to be told this a lot more often rather, that he is not a funny person, just like a skinny, shrill, annoying white boy. And that's all he will ever be. That's all he could ever be. Look at him.
You're not funny. Tony, you're not funny. You're a great writer. You're a great writer. You're not funny.
Fucking set.
You're not funny.
Okay, you're a hack, Brody.
I'm a hack. Hey, I'd rather be a hack than not be funny. You're not a nice guy.
Yeah, you're on your way out.
You're not a nice guy. You're not a nice guy. Tony Hinchcliffe, you're not a nice guy. You're a terrible person, and I've never met you. I've never hung out with you. I've never had any of your shitty fucking Italian bolognese either. And I don't think I want any of that because, hey, dude, if you treat Brody like this, you treat your fucking friend Brody Stevens like this, you treat anybody like this. You treat your mother like this if you treat old Brody like this. This is what I believe about you. This is my opinion on you, having never met you in my life.
Yeah. Tony, you're not funny. Have you been in a movie? You've never been in a movie.
Yeah, Zach feels bad for you,
because you're not.
Everybody feels bad for you. And this is how you treat your friends. The ones that were there for you during your fucking breakdown.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You crossed the line.
During your fucking, okay, so now like bringing up his breakdown and like gaslighting him into believing that Tony is his friend. This is what Tony Hinchcliffe does. He's a very cerebral person. And he likes to get in your head and he likes to really fuck it all up. He gets off on that shit. Instead of sex with a man or a woman, that is what makes Tony come. He loves that. He loves to just dig deep into a person and try to find that fucking thing that they're uncomfortable about or maybe they're struggling with. And then he just likes to grip it and squeeze and tear it out if he fucking can. This is who Tony Hinchcliffe is. A terrible person. And an asexual madman as well.
Wow.
And there's a little more too.
Are we okay, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd that all get started?
He said I was filming a set.
Leave the lights on here so you can cool off a little bit. I'm sure you're upset.
And so now Brody Stevens is chilling in one of the other rooms in the comedy comedy store in LA. And then Tony Hinchcliffe comes back. And I guess to like, I don't know, apologize. You know, like when you abuse someone, you know, like when you're like abusing someone and you finish abusing them and then you go up to them and you give them like an ice cream or something. She's like, hey, still thinking about you, you know, after you finish abusing them. That's what Tony's about to do.
Let's not inflame. I was leaving the stage. What's that? Brody, you were kind of whining. You're negative. I'm letting you stay in here for a guy who doesn't know anything about anything.
This is a good comeback, Brody. I don't care what they say. All right, so Tony should be.
Do that to me.
Tony, I'll turn it.
Hey, I want to talk to you. See, are you?
I'll turn.
Hey, I want to talk to you. Are you still recording?
Hey, I want to talk to you. See, are you?
I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off.
Are you still periscoping?
Yes.
You fuck. How dare you, Brody?
You see what he says? Brody Stevens is upset. He's been on Periscope this whole night, probably. He's still on fucking Periscope. He left the fucking scene of the confrontation with Tony and goes into another room. Tony follows him into the other room while he's still Periscoping because he's been Periscoping all fucking night. And then Tony says, hey, I want to talk to you. And he's still Periscoping. So Tony asks him that question. And then he says, you fuck. How dare you? You see how he switches like that? And Brody Stevens even said that I'll turn off the Periscope. I'll turn it off. But Tony did that. He went back in there either because someone told him to go back in there and fix that with Brody. Because Tony said horrible things to Brody. And like Tony knew the problems that Brody Stevens was having, but even though he knew that, he still chose to dig a knife in and twist it, right? Because that's who Tony Hinchcliffe is, right? So he was going to come in here and give him a half-hearted apology like an abuser does and try to give him a fucking ice cream cone so Brody Stevens won't remember or think about what Tony just said and did to him right there in the comedy store.
Tony, I'll turn it off.
At a place like this where we're all supposed to be hanging out and where we're supposed to be able to be ourselves. How dare you do that to me?
You're being yourself right now, Tony, and you're a shrill little fucking bitch. That's exactly who you are. Thank God that Brody Stevens recorded this so we can just see exactly how much of a shrill little cunt you actually are.
Post that fucking shit?
I'll take it down.
Unbelievable, Brody. You're just burn every bridge. Burn every bridge. I wrote you onto the burn. Remember that.
And then Tony just leaves Brody Stevens in silence after following him and berating him again. This man killed himself not too far into the future after this. My opinion is that Tony Hinchcliffe really drove this man to kill himself. I don't think that this is the first person, or I think this might be the first person that Tony has driven to kill themselves, potentially. Like a contestant or like a comic that went up on Kill Tony and got berated by Tony, ended up killing himself not too long after. You see, that's what Tony likes to do. He likes to get in your head and he likes to make you kill yourself. Or he likes to suck your dick and make you feel all big and mighty. One of the two.
Where the iron fist thing and everything like that comes from, because it is so chill. We literally laugh every Monday, Tuesday, all the way through the week.
I had people putting in.
So we just saw who Tony Hinchcliffe was when he was a fucking nobody geek ass dork, like he still fucking is. He just grew facial hair now. He was a piece of shit cunt, a shrill little bitch, like I already said. That's exactly who he is, right? And imagine that little guy having true power in the Austin comedy scene. Imagine that guy being one of the biggest faces in the Austin comedy scene, being so big that people from around the nation will drive in the cars that they live in. They'll stop paying rent at wherever fucking bullshit ass state and city that they live in to come down here to Austin. And understand, this is what these people are fucking doing. To come down here to Austin, a place that they've probably never been to before, and to chance it just to get on this guy's show and meet him and impress him and have him change their lives. And this nigga is a devil. Tony Hinchcliffe is a fucking satanic devil. 100%.
In my head, like, yo, dude, if you take up too much space in a room that Tony's hanging out in, he might put out the word that it's like over for you.
He 100% will. He 100% will put out the word that it's over for you. And it's because this guy has something that Tony wants, that Tony's acting this chill with him. 100%. Once this guy is all used up by Tony, once Tony got every last bit out of this cocksucker here, he will throw him to this fucking side, you know, wherever. Tony doesn't care where he ends up after he throws him out of the fucking moving car. Doesn't give a fuck.
And I was just like, well, if somebody did that to me, I would probably go to prison for like biting them or something.
Right. Oh, totally.
And it's almost like no one's saying that directly. It's just like a sort of like ethereal opinion.
It's not ethereal. Just look up his video with Brody Stevens, his former friend that killed himself. Not too terribly long after he had this confrontation with Tony Hinchcliffe. And I could be wrong on that, but even if I am, I don't care.
I think it's a mythology that people like to create in their heads. You know what I mean? Like you hear these things about Mitzi Shore or I don't know, kind of right anybody, right? Like
Mitzi Shore was an annoying cunt that is the sole reason that Joe Rogan is where he is today. The sole fucking reason. A very big reason as to why we have to deal with Joe Rogan today is because of Mitzi Shore. Fuck Mitzi Shore. Fuck Pauly Shore. Fuck the entire Shore family as far as I'm concerned. Fuck the Comedy Store. Fuck the Comedy Mothership. Fuck all people involved with this shit. Fuck all people that have anything to say against what I'm saying now. They're all fucking satanic devils. I swear to you, I promise you, they're all fucking devils. You like Mitzi Shore? You like Joe Rogan? You like Tony Hinchcliffe? You like the Comedy Store? You like the Comedy Mothership? You're satanic. That's just what that is. Life has dictated that must be the way that things go. I don't make the rules here, and I wish I were. you know, because this would be a totalitarian, authoritarian, right-wing country or whatever the fuck.
All she does is fire people, right? You're fired. Like that's the iconic line. But meanwhile, she made all those careers and stuff. Not to get back to the 70s, you know what I mean?
No. But I think what happens is enough people fail to like cross that threshold, and it's just like, well, you know, they don't die or go away. They just kind of think, you know, that they have like a perspective that goes into like a swamp of the same, you know, thinking with people, and that's
nah, dude. If you were excluded from the Comedy Store, you're fucked. You're not that fucked. I mean, if you're Joe Rogan got kicked out of the fucking Comedy Store. But Joe Rogan had TV shows that he was on. Joe Rogan had UFC events to depend on. Joe Rogan had residuals from TV shows that he was on. Joe Rogan has never had to work an honest day in his fucking life. And there, I said it, you know, just being real.
Sort of like permeates.
I do kind of like it though. It is fun that people have that, and then I get to show someone that I like a really good time. The catch is then it makes me wonder, like, do they think that I'm like being fake to them for some reason or something? Because if there's this, you know what I mean, genuinely, because I'm smoking pot. But also, people don't realize that because I don't make it my identity, but I'm one of the biggest stoners that I know in all of stand-up comedy. I always have. Anytime I've ever done a show or anytime I've ever been anywhere, I have a case filled with blunts, with pre-rolled blunts.
Very cool, clip open.
Yeah,
you know,
well, you
like
got to keep you got to try to keep the scent locked in, which has been a problem forever. But I'm like a secret stoner. I don't act stoned. I don't talk stoned.
You have a good stoner voice that you do for people. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I do. I think, right?
Yeah. You know that thing?
Right. Yeah.
You do? Yeah.
I think I have it.
Yeah.
What was I saying? But I'm like I'm literally like a hippie that's just a big comedy fan. And
yeah, just because you smoke weed doesn't mean you're a hippie. You see, you got a fucking Republican pedophile child a murdering child eating fucking charlatan elected. You helped get him elected. You help make him seem appealing to your audience and to your fans. You, Joe Rogan, that whole entire scene, Theo Vaughn, all you people that could get time with this fucking a fat retard Donald Trump chose to, right? Because you saw it as like a big boom for yourself and a big push for yourself. That's how these people think. They only think for self. They are satanic devils. And I wouldn't be surprised if they travel along or among or maybe in lesser circles similar to the circle that Jeffrey Epstein himself had. This is who these people are. I'm telling you.
Loves to laugh.
Right.
Anybody like you, DeRosa's a big one. Like Shane, for the love of God. Like I love on top of the green room chats and this and that. Like I love just fucking a bar in a corner of a bar with music playing and people can't necessarily hear what we're talking about, cracking up.
Yeah,
I love laughing. Because sometimes I've like heard things where it's like, is that your real laugh on the show? Are you over laughing? Like it's like, no, I built a show to where I love cracking up.
I get the same thing because I laugh like a Muppet. I throw my head back and open my mouth and they go, wow, fake laugh.
Nah. You know, like he brought that up because people say that about him. People do obviously notice that he's fake laughing with those fake teeth of his. Probably. I'm not sure. I believe they're fucking fake. I believe he has fake teeth. That's because it is a fake laugh, right? It is 100% a fake laugh. You know, like I said, the type of person that he is to lull everyone around him into a false sense of security so that way he can continue to get things out of them, get their resources and like bring them over and use them to his own benefit. That's who he is as a person.
From Tim, it's like, bro, I'm autistic, man.
Does your mom laugh like that?
Guys, real quick, I just wanted to make you aware of some stand-up comedy shows I have.
No, fuck you. Fuck your shows.
Kind of really in my head. I said this before on the podcast, but like when you're about to introduce me and O'Connor on the first Kill Tony we did, we were standing behind the curtain and it felt like we were facing a firing squad. We were just like, well, here, like, you remember the Jet Li movie where they launch all the arrows at him at the, like, we felt like there was going to be 2 dude-sized gaps in a wall of arrows, and we were just so freaked out, and then it was great. But leading up to it, and this is 100% true, I'm not making this up, I was having conversations with MJ where I was just like, I don't think he's actually having me on Kill Tony. I think this is like I think he thinks it'd be really funny to offer that to me, and then when I get there, he's gonna go, "Oh, you thought that was real,
right?"
And I was like, "Oh, so see, let's just be prepared for that."
Yeah, this is literally my biggest fear: is that people think things like that, and then they're like in the wrong mindset.
We were strangers at this point. We were strangers,
right?
And so
the wrong mindset. People think that, and then they're in the wrong mindset. That's a weird usage of words that he just chose to use. You know, people think a certain thing and then they're in the wrong mindset. So what would be the right mindset then? If that's the wrong mindset, like their opinion of the things that they see from you and hear about you formed an incoherent but relatively, I would say, kind of coherent view of how you might be as a person, right? But you call it the wrong mindset. Why would you call it the wrong mindset? They might have a mistaken idea about who you might be. You know, that would be like a better way of saying that. You know, a misunderstanding about who you might be. But them having the wrong mindset implies that there is a right mindset that works for you. You're saying that a mindset of a person that is critical of you or not sure about you is wrong for you. What you need is them to be buttered up, right? You need them to be ready for you to just slip a little Tony in there, you know, and really get to work. That's what you want. You want them to be ready. It was wet and sopping and ready. That's what Tony Hinchcliffe needs. And when people, because of the things that he has said, because of how he has treated people in the past, and because of the things that people say about him, because of how bad of a person that he really is behind the scene, you don't like that. Like, you don't want to contend with that, you know, like you have the wrong idea of who I actually am as a person. And then you deliver the LA, you know, the LA sort of nicety that, like, there's Minnesota nice, where the people in Minnesota are just kind of, oh yeah, how you doing there, Norm? Oh yeah, we're neighbors. Hey neighbor, you know, like, but it's fake, right? It's Minnesota nice. This guy is LA nice. With this fucking up and comer comedian, former IT Satan worshiper over here. What he doesn't understand, right? I don't know if he's from there. I don't know where he's from in the world, but I don't think that he's from LA. Maybe he could be, you know, for all I know. But what he's seeing and what he has been seeing from Tony Hinchcliffe thus far is LA nice guy. LA nice guy. You'll see this on Joe Rogan's podcast, you know, all the time. You'll hear this from what's his name? Those two fucking other idiot friends of Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub and the other guy, the fucking old white guy. You'll hear them say, like, do like the LA niceties, like, oh yeah, he's the best, real good guy, you know, like, this is what they do. They've perfected this sort of behavior, right? Let's listen to some more.
I felt like I was being very brave by facing that, because I was like, well, even if I do get the rug pulled out from under me and they pull my pants down and make fun of me in front of everybody, I'll at least probably figure out something funny to respond with, which at this point I'm already crossing
That's the cuck mentality, brother. That is a mentality of lacking. Understand that.
into psychosis. And then we get there and we do the show, and I convinced myself that it was a fake show. I said that was a fake show. I said, oh, I get it. They actually set up an entire, they sold tickets to it. This is all fake. And it's going to be like, oh, you thought you were doing a big show. That's very funny and cute. And then I feel like an idiot. And then it goes well and we have a great time. And then the next day I was just like, they didn't even record that, dude.
Right. Yeah.
And Kim had to be like, yo, dude, you're experiencing something like pretty seriously dark and you need to snap out of it. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it's just been great ever since.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel
he shouldn't have said anything about that. That's one of those things that you just keep inside. Tony Hinchcliffe will look at him differently for all that he has said on that podcast. When he says, oh, yeah, I thought you were going to be an asshole. You know, people say you're an asshole. Yeah, he doesn't like that already. He already doesn't like that. He doesn't like that shit.
That too. I think that's not that crazy. There are times when it's like, this seems too good to be true. This is crazy. What's happening? Is it the Illuminati? Who runs the world? Like, what is going on?
You do need to be careful, man. You're at a point where they are going to try to if they haven't already. You might already be compromised, and I don't know.
He's compromised. He is compromised. Tony Hinchcliffe also doesn't like the fact that he just said that, you know? He wants to distance himself from what he did, the favor that he did for Donald Trump when he went out there in front of America and fucking bombed. And afterwards, when he made that fucking the racist jokes that he made, Donald Trump said that, yeah, I don't know who that guy even was. I didn't see it. You know, that's what Donald Trump says whenever he was you know, like a focal point in something happening, and like he was the driving force behind this thing happening, and it goes absolutely wrong, or you know, like Jeffrey Epstein kills a girl for him or whatever the fuck, that he got pregnant, or some crazy shit like that, whatever, it's in the Epstein files. When it comes to that point, that's when Donald Trump just detaches, right? And he doesn't have anything else to do with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Real New York scumbag trick. The old, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what Donald Trump hit Tony Hinchcliffe with, because he fucking bombed in front of God and America and all the ghosts that are alive here. So he wants to distance himself from that point. He wants to distance himself from the point that he actually is compromised, because Joe Rogan is 100% compromised by fucking, dude, the very same demon people that are like planning this technocratic takeover of America. The Peter Thiels, the Elon Musks, the Donald Trumps, literally the Donald Trumps. I don't think that it's any coincidence like that. Like, what, nine people that have been on the Joe Rogan Experience were also in the Epstein files. Joe Rogan is compromised. So is Tony Hinchcliffe, because he is joined at the hip to Joe Rogan. The only reason why Tony Hinchcliffe is where he is right now is because he left LA when Joe Rogan did, in solidarity, because he's a part of the was it the death squad, because they're that funny, they kill people. None of you motherfuckers are funny. None of you motherfuckers are funny, to be perfectly honest with you. And so now he got brought here by Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan set him up for a long time, got his venues and all this shit, and definitely gave him money to live comfortable in Austin. And then Tony fucking blew up, because there's a lot of fucking retards out there, namely in Texas. And there are a lot of retards even further out than Texas that are willing to come there and see him and make a fool of themselves. But that's been Kill Tony for a while, to be fair. That has been the MO. It's just that now the central place is Austin, Texas, which will lead to the death of Austin, Texas. 100%. Mark my words.
If I am, then I don't know.
You better keep an eye on your inner circle, dude.
Yeah.
So eventually someone's going to show up and no one's going to know where they came from, but everyone's going to be kind of friendly with them. Oh no, it's me. I'm the asset.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yep. Could happen. And it's wild because literally working with Rogan every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the club, like just doing shows and sitting in the green room with him for a few hours, is the only thing that kind of keeps me non-paranoid about that, right? Like, because it's like, he's normal.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not normal. 9 people that he had on his podcast were in the Epstein files. Joe Rogan had a man come on his show with a guy that was reported to had committed a murder and got sent to prison for a long time or whatever the fuck. And then I guess like he got exonerated or whatever. And like this guy brought this fucking convict onto the show to talk about, oh yeah, we're with like this project. We're all about reform and all this. And like the former convict, I can't remember his name, so I'm just gonna call him the fucking convict. The former convict, started talking about this and that, set up, like it wasn't like it was. And not too long after the motherfucker did the podcast, he like chops somebody's heads off. He like chops their fucking head off, or like dismembered their body to some capacity. Joe Rogan had that guy on his fucking podcast. You've had a fucking murderer, a body dissembler, right? A body dissembler on your podcast, and you had 9 fucking people that were in the Epstein files, including Donald Trump, a definite pedophile, definitely has been party to children getting killed on an island somewhere, and is a charlatan snake oil salesman that has never been a good person. Joe Rogan is compromised. So are you. You were at his little event, Tony. You did jokes and you bombed, and he said, I never knew ye, nigga. At the pearly gates, Donald Trump said, I never knew. I don't know who this fucking guy is. He's a cocksucker. I want him dead. That's what Donald Trump said about you, Tony Hinchcliffe.
There's all these preconceived notions from people that don't know him about this or that, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, it's very much the same way with him, I'd imagine. Like, people are probably like, oh, God, you don't want to cross him. Like, I heard that he'll kick you out or whatever. Like, I mean, which I've never seen. And meanwhile, he is...
I do see podcast clips of people saying that stuff for sure.
Right. And when I've seen it, I've confirmed that none of them are true. I'll go, Joe,
That's false. Joe Rogan does this all the time. In fact, since we're here, Tim Dillon, that the fat gay comedian, Tim Dillon, he actually has like a little clip where he talks about this. Tim Dillon on comedian getting kicked out by Joe Rogan. Let's see if I can find this clip. All right, so yeah, here we go. I have the video here. So let's go ahead and do the old looky-loo here. Figure out what the fuck is happening.
Why is RFK at a UFC?
Let's get to
And you know, she asked RFK why, like, no matter what city you say, they act like it's nothing. Like, it's like, where are you from? London. Stage. And I felt really bad. I said, listen, and this is the worst nightmare of anybody, right? I go, listen here, and I go, I know.
Okay, so this is a bit that Tim Dillon, or rather a story that Tim Dillon is going to tell about the time that a comedian was just having a rough set, right? He was bombing on stage, and about what Joe Rogan said to Tim Dillon that was tell this guy to get the fuck out, like he can't be here or something like that. But listen to Tim Dillon tell a story.
It's like a cop, you know what I mean? Like, you're all like, I'm the least gay of the comics, I think. And so he's being like kind of gay and he's bombing. And then and then Rogan's behind me. And then we walk back in the green room. Rogan goes, he's bombing, man. He can't be here. And I go, I know. I'm getting him off right now. And I I run at him and I go, light him now. He gets like, what's going on? I go, light him now. I start texting DeRosa. I'm like, get back here. And then the kid got off stage and I felt really bad. I said, listen. And this is the worst nightmare of anybody, right? I go, listen, he got off. He goes, yeah, it was a little tough. You're still smiling. I go, no. Here's the thing. I go, you got to go right now. He goes, what do you mean? My bag's in the green room. I go, yeah. You got to get out of this club right now.
Joe's security is going to kill you.
Joe is unhappy and it looks really bad for me. Get the fuck out. I've worked years. You get the fuck out of here. He goes, where do I go? I go, I don't know. Just walk around 6th Street. He's like, it seems dangerous. I go, get out of this club.
So that's the story, right? Like that a kid was just bombing on stage. Joe Rogan says, yeah, he can't be here, you know? And then like Tim Dillon has to scrape and you know, like get this motherfucker off stage and deal the blow to his heart, deal the blow to his confidence. And that's get the fuck out of here. Go walk around 6th Street, dog. You can't be here anymore. Joe Rogan will kill you. Yeah, and understand that Joe Rogan has like Navy SEALs with him wherever he goes. Understand that. Let me say that one more time. Understand that Joe Rogan has Navy SEALs around him, protecting him with weapons, man-killing weapons that they have licenses for around him everywhere he goes. You know who doesn't have Navy SEALs all around him everywhere the president of the United States doesn't have just like a bunch of fucking Navy SEALs, former Navy SEALs, obviously. But I assume that a former Navy SEAL is always a fucking Navy SEAL, right? It sounds like some fucking shit that they would say, honestly. I'll say it just one more time so motherfuckers can really understand the gravity of who we're dealing with when we talk about Joseph. I'm going to call him, his middle name is Robinette. Joseph Robinette Rogan, right? Joseph Robinette Rogan has a detail. Do you understand? He has a detail of Navy SEALs, the special force killing guys, right? The special force, we're going to murder people for the United States of America as efficiently and as effectively as we possibly can. Those Navy SEALs. Joe Rogan has Navy SEALs like physically guarding his body with man-killing weapons that they are mastered in. Do you understand? They've mastered the weapons that they hold in their sheaths. Okay? And if you get close to Joe Rogan, Navy SEALs will change your life forever. They're gonna fuck you up. And they might kill you. Do you understand that that's who Joe Rogan is? You get too close to Joe Rogan and Navy SEALs will pull those little fucking bayonet knives out of their boot and they'll stab you in the ear because they understand. That's like one of the most terrifying places to stab a person. Directly in their fucking ear. And then it goes in the point, you can see it on the other side. That's who protects Joe Rogan. That's who Joe Rogan rolls around with. Like the most effectively efficient goons. Okay? Navy SEALs. And this gay presenting man, asexual, doing harm to other people and harming yourself and getting sexual gratification from that man right here, Tony Hinchcliffe, is trying to gaslight this dork, right? This fucking IT satanic dork into believing that he is a good person and that Joe Rogan is also a good person, but also a normal person. All right. He wants this fucking stupid dork bitch to believe that Joe Rogan is a normal, well-adjusted, good person. And because this guy wants to be a part of Tony's little scene and become famous and sign his soul away to fucking Payman, the demon from the fucking 72 Lesser Keys of Solomon, because he wants to do this, he is going to believe Tony Hinchcliffe when he says to him and his audience that he's a good person. We saw by the way when he wasn't even really popping like that, how he was treating his friend Brody Stevens, who was already living a pretty fucking rough life. We saw how he talked to his friend Brody Stevens. He's a piece of shit. So he's gaslighting this young man that doesn't know everything about the lore of Tony like I do, or some others do, that he's a good person. And he's not. And that Joe Rogan also is a good person. He's not. And that he's normal when he has a detail of like lean, mean killing machines at his side, also known as Navy SEALs, by the way, at his side, guarding his body with man-killing weapons wherever he goes. Wherever, including the fucking compound that Joe Rogan must live in, somewhere in South Austin, wherever the fuck, in the hills. Do you understand that? Okay, I need you to understand that. I think you guys got it. I mean, we fucking move on with this shit.
Did you ever have a thing with this guy or whatever? And it's like none of it's ever real.
Yeah, but that might be like a guy stepping on an anthill where he doesn't even notice. He doesn't even know that he ruined someone's life. You know what I mean? It'd be so insignificant. You know, for him, it's Tuesday type thing.
Yeah.
But so far.
But again, nicest guy, super cool and fun.
I can't imagine. I've never even tried.
Nicest guy, super. First off, if you say that you're the nicest guy, you are a satanic person. If you say that you are super cool, you are a satanic person. If you say that you like to have, what would you say? You like to have fun, or you are a ton of fun? Because both options make you fucking a satanic person. But I want to hear exactly what you just said, Tony.
He doesn't even know that he ruined someone's life. You know what I mean? It'd be so insignificant. You know, for him, it's Tuesday type thing.
Yeah.
That's not a real laugh, Tony.
But so far.
But again, nicest guy, super cool and fun.
And fun. Not even that you like to have fun. And fun. Fun to be around? What do you mean by and fun? The nicest guy, super cool, and fun. If you say that you are fun, you didn't even say you're a fun person, right? Like Tony doesn't spend time acknowledging his humanity. Watch Tony Hinchcliffe. How many times will he acknowledge his humanity? Not very many times, to be perfectly honest. And I find that weird that he doesn't really acknowledge his humanity very often. You don't really hear that from him. He's just fun and fun. Anyone that says they're fun, hey, I'm fun, they want to kill you. Do you understand? That is like, and fun. Satanic person. Gaslighter too.
Imagine. I've never even tried to imagine being Rogan.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
I'd be so paranoid.
I don't think
I have
does...
nothing and no attention, and I'm still almost schizophrenic.
I think
that Joe Rogan has been on stages in front of people since he was a kid. Joe Rogan, people don't treat Joe Rogan like the fucking Hollywood lizard person that he actually is, right? The only thing that I personally respect about Joe Rogan, if anything, is like his appreciation for martial arts. Anything past that, like, it's whatever. But Joe Rogan has been in the public eye since he was a teenager, either a teenager or in his like very early 20s. You know, I believe it was like teenager. He's had, since he was a teenager, he's had this lust to get that validation from a wide number of people all at once. He wanted people to just clap and laugh at him and like, you know, be with him. That's why Joe Rogan is so attached to like comedy. That's why he talks about comedy like that, because he sees that as an avenue that he's always wanted to go down, to have the love and admiration that he has seen so many comedians have in the past, right? And that's what drives Joe Rogan, you know? So like Joe Rogan's used to people knowing him, right? People know Joe Rogan from the UFC. Obviously, he's been with the UFC since either the start or very close to the start. Joe Rogan has been, you know, an actor since the 90s. Joe Rogan had a show called Fear Factor in the early 2000s. Yeah, like Joe Rogan, he's famous. Like nigga used to live in the Hollywood Hills, dude. Like he knows how to conduct himself, you know, like in these sorts of spaces. And what he does is he hires Navy SEALs to protect his body, you know. And some people might be saying that, hey, that's not a crazy thing to have like bodyguards, you know, around you protecting your person. Like even streamers have bodyguards, right? Have you noticed that any person that talks about Joe Rogan's bodyguards never calls them bodyguards? Have you noticed that? If you're even watching this fucking bullshit like I am, if you notice, none of these comedians, like no one that has ever experienced these gentlemen ever calls them bodyguards, right? They don't call them bodyguards. They don't call them bouncers. They don't call them anything like that. Never call them that. They only refer to these men. And even on Joe Rogan's podcast, they don't even call them bodyguards. No person that goes to Joe Rogan's studio, which is at his home, calls the men outside the door that we never see bodyguards. Every single person calls them Navy SEALs. Imagine how these men must look. Imagine how these men, like the type of weapons that these men must carry while just protecting Joe from, I don't know who the fuck is out to get Joe out there. Could be some folks. I know the Liver King was talking about it once. I don't think he was really bad about it though. But there's no mistake as to why no one just calls them bodyguards. Because they're not just bodyguards, dog. They're fucking Navy SEALs, and apparently it's apparent, right? Apparently it's apparent, and it comes up, right? So like these niggas gotta be toting some nice shit on their waist. Probably got like a fucking nice AR just hanging on their neck. You know what I mean? Because people talk about them. They talk about them, and they never call them bodyguards. They always call them Navy SEALs. Joe Rogan's famous, dude. I don't think Joe Rogan's that famous.
Only thing that creates a Rogan and maintains a Rogan and keeps him from not going crazy, what are the odds that he works out every single day for a few hours while we fucking chain smoke cigarettes and fart on our couches?
So he
trying to overthink about whether the show we're doing is real or not. He has to press heavy weights up into the air.
He's building a physical armor for his mind. That's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, it's not like he's doing it to be buff or like
He's trying to
look
be hot.
good. Right. He has his kids. He's got his wife.
Maxing.
Yeah.
Gotta hit your face with a hammer, man.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how important exercise is for their mental health.
Imagine if clavicular swung Rogan. Yeah, that'd be fucking sick, man. He starts mewing.
What's mewing?
It's like a jaw exercise that makes your cheekbones pop.
Oh.
You know, it's for
All right, that's the last fake laugh from Tony Hinchcliffe that I can handle. I don't really care about anything that happens in the rest of this video. I don't know how long I've been on this, but it's been longer than an hour. Probably closer to an hour and a half. I'm not really sure. But that Tony Hinchcliffe is a fucking bad person. And if what I've shown you is not like credible enough, watch him sometime. See how he interacts with his guests. Keep an eye on this guy because he's a bad one, right? I know it. And hopefully sooner rather than later, yeah, it's been 1:30. Goddamn. Sooner rather than later, you'll know it too. Tony Hinchcliffe is a bad guy, and this ain't over.